Okay, this is a week 13 for CIS102. Before we get into week 13, I wanted to let you know there's 2 extra credit opportunities. If you're missing grades in your grade tab, you'll see a 0 in there. And in order to make those up, to be easier to grade for me anyway, it's going to be easier to give you extra credit opportunity. And what I've done for extra credit 1 and 2, both of them is going to be worth 100 points. Basically, complete a CD lab from any one of the chapters you've done this semester in the computer concepts book that wasn't assigned. So any of the CD labs that we've not assigned, that I've not assigned, you can do and submit it as always in prior weeks. Here an extra credit 1 for 100 points, and then also I have an extra credit 2 also worth 100 points. These are not required, these are just for extra credit if you need to bring your grade up. Okay, week 13 you're going over HTML, creating a web page in HTML, and then discussion. I do want to go over the PDF file here inside of week 13, creating a web page. Once you're finished creating a web page, you'll submit the file below in week 13, and you'll basically put in here the title, full name, and then attach the submitted completed file. So basically HTML is hypertext markup language. That hyper is the opposite of linear, and basically what it is in computer language is that it allows the person viewing the web page to go anywhere, anytime they want to. Text is what you want to see. It could be English letters, it could be other languages. Markup is what you will do. You'll write plain English, then mark it up what you wrote, and we'll look at that in just a second. And then language is the language used to develop web pages. So let's look at some examples or some beginning information on what a webpage homepage is. Every website has a homepage, and I put here a few examples of what a homepage could be. It's the page that a person sees when they come to that site, and they have a certain name and extension. Here I have index.html, index.htm, default.html, and default.html. So if you go to my website here, this cconkle.com, I'll go there real quick to show you. Here's the website, and the default to that website is the page actually is index.html. You don't see it though. The home pages are hidden from the web browser that you type in the URL. So when you type in google.com, for example, the actual page you're viewing is index.html. So if I type in google.com and then put in here index.html, notice it goes back to the home page, immediately redirects it. Same with yahoo.com. Type in index.html, goes back to the home page. So this is actually the home page. Index.html is the home page of Google and Yahoo both. So the user just types in the domain google.com, yahoo.com, but they're really actually viewing the index.html page. And so what you're going to create this week is an index.html page that every website will have a default page. It might be called index. It could also be called default. Those are the 2 main home pages for websites. So HTML tags, it works very simple. It's very logical. It's a format. It reads like you do from top to bottom, left to right. HTML is written in text. You'll actually use a text or notepad this week to create the page. And what you set certain sections apart as bigger text, smaller text, bold text, underlined text, you're going to separate them by tags. Think of tags as commands. Let's say you want a line of text to be bold. You're going to put a tag at the beginning of that line, a bold tag, and a bold tag at the end of that line. You have a beginning start tag and an end tag. So you'd have a beginning bold tag and an end bold tag. So if you want just one word to be italicized, you place a static italic tag at the beginning of the word and an end italic tag at the end of the word. The format for all tags, sometimes you might call them commands, is the same. They begin with a lesser than symbol and then they end with a greater than symbol. Always, no exceptions. What goes inside the lesser than greater than symbol is a tag itself. And so learning HTML is learning the tag to perform whatever command you want it to do. The tag for bolding is a letter B, and that makes sense. Here's what the tag looks like to turn the word Joe in bold in a HTML page. You have the word Joe with B on both sides of Joe. A beginning tag and an end tag. Then you've got, seeing what's happening here, B is the beginning of the bold tag. Joe is the word being affected by the B tag. The slash B is the end bold tag. Notice exactly the same as the beginning except it has a slash in front of the tag. That is what the bold tag above produced is Joe bolded. So some questions. Is the end tag for the other commands or tags simply the beginning tag with the added slash? Yes. So like B as a slash B. Italicized as I slash I. And all tags have a lesser than beginning and a greater than symbol at the end. Now, will the tags show up on your page? They will not. As long as your commands are inside the lesser than greater than symbol marks, the browser will read the HTML language and convert it to a web page. Your bold tag uses a capital B. Do all HTML tags use a capital? The browser doesn't really care. In terms of tags, though, capitals and lowercase letters are equal. I think it's going to be a very good idea for you to make a habit of writing your tags in capital letters, as it does set it apart from the normal text, even though you could use lowercase. Next question, must everything have a tag to show up on a page? No. You can just type text on an HTML page, you'll see in a second, but it won't have any special format. If you forget to add an end tag and forget to add the slash at the end of the document, that's trouble. It will show up on your page possibly, and the end user will see it. You just have to edit it and put that end tag slash in there. Do all HTML tags require both a beginning and end tag like above? No. There are exceptions that we'll see in a second. BR tag is one for a break tag like an enter key. HR tag for a horizontal rule is another one. So opening and closing tags. The majority of HTML tags do require an opening and closing tag, a beginning and end tag. Most are very easy to understand because the tag is obvious. Here are a few that what they do to the text. So for instance, B bolds, I italicizes, TT is a typewriter. Here's the actual code used for B, beginning tag, end tag, italicize, beginning tag, end tag, typewriter text, beginning tag, end tag, and then this is what it looks like for each. Can you use two tags at once? Yes, just make sure you begin and end both of those beginning tags. So in this example here, there's a bold and I italicize both, beginning bold and bold, beginning italicize and italicize, gives you a bold and italic text. Beginning B, NB, beginning TT, and TT tag, gives you the typewriter in bold. If you do use multiple tags to alter text, make a point of not getting the end tags out of order. I suggest doing them, creating the end tag immediately upon creating the start tag. So if you started with TT, you would go ahead and create it. I, end it. B, end it. And so basically that's going to help you never forget to do the end tags, or at least 99.9% of the time. So always set the beginning and end tags at the same time. It's going to help you tremendously. Then you have single tags. Single tags are, such as I mentioned earlier, HR tag. This is a tag that gives you a line straight across the page, a horizontal line. BR tag, it breaks the text like the enter key on your keyboard, like in Microsoft Word. If you don't put BR tags in your paragraphs or in where you want a line to wrap, it's going to keep going to the right of the page. P tag stands for paragraph. It does the exact same thing as a BR tag above, except this tag skips a line. BR tag just jumps to the very next line. The P tag will give you basically double space each line. So here we go. We're going to write the very first page. You're going to start out with the tag HTML. Your tags will always be these, beginning and end tag. And finally, you're going to end every page with the end HTML. Okay? The title tag is at the very top of your web page, just like on this example here I'm showing you. 13.pdf is the title of this web page that you're viewing right here. And so to go ahead and get it and to start on it, all you need to do is fire up Notepad. The text here that I've given you is right here. And you got the beginning tag, HTML, beginning head tag. But before we go further, let's do as I've mentioned above, beginning HTML tag and HTML tag. Beginning head tag, end head tag. Now, the only thing you need to remember in HTML is the title, which is at the very top of the web page and the top of the website here that shows you the title of that web page, needs to be inside of the head tag. So you've got title, my first HTML page, then body tag, body tag. So opening body tag, closing body tag. Opening B tag, closing B tag for bold. Opening paragraph tag, and notice on the paragraph tag you don't have an end tag, and sometimes you don't have to put an end paragraph tag if you don't want to. It's not a needed thing. Next, it says I can write in italic. There's italics tag, bold. BR tag will wrap it to the next line. HR tag will put a horizontal rule. Bold tag, italicize, italicize. This will be, or I can write in both, italic and bold. Another BR tag to wrap it down. HR for rule. The typewriter text, and then end body tag and HTML tag. Once you're finished with the page, you should be able to view it. But before we do that, let's save it. You're going to go to the File, Save As in Notepad. You're going to save it at HTML. Literally type index.html in the file name. Make sure, this is very important, you save the type as all files. And then to view your HTML page, you just need to double click on it on your desktop where you saved it, and you'll be able to view that page in your web browser. So that concludes week 13 on creating a web page, and then you'll also have week 13 discussion. As always, week 13 discussion this week goes over, does this assignment pique your interest in developing web pages? We do have courses here on campus beginning with Web 101, and we're also looking at beginning a brand new or revamping our web degree to include iPad, iPhone, iTouch development starting in the fall of this year and at the latest spring of 2013. So if you have any questions on that, you can email me. Otherwise, have a great week, and as always, if you have questions, give me an email. And wrapping up this semester real quickly, take the extra credit examples or offerings that I'm giving you if you need it, and take those if you're behind in an assignment or if you've not turned assignments in, and to get your grade up. And some of you are teetering between maybe a C or D. It's a good time to get that grade up, and so avail yourself to take the extra credit 1 and 2. Let's have a great week.